Let me run right out of here. I took off down the hall as fast as I could. Despite my best efforts, I didn't escape. We returned to the examination room for more sitting on the floor or other stupid stuff, I assumed. Okay, now we're going to do a little test. The doctor took my left arm, lifted it up, turned it over, and pulled at the skin. Before I knew what he was doing, he chopped off a piece of it. I still have the mark from where he sliced a piece of skin from my upper arm. It stung like a son of a gun. He tested all 5 of us, my parents and my siblings. We all have the same scars on our arms. That was the day we discovered I have muscular dystrophy. My little brother Bill does not. The official diagnosis was handed down when I was only 5 years old, but the symptoms didn't show up until several years later. We learned more about my MD when I was in 2nd grade, even though I wasn't showing any symptoms yet. At that same time, Amy had her Achilles heels lengthened so she could walk with her feet flat on the floor, leaving her with scars on the backs of her legs. I didn't have major surgery like Amy, but I did get my skin cut again. This time, we had to go beyond the slicing off skin from my arm test. I needed a muscle biopsy. I had to be put under for the procedure. When I woke up in the hospital bed, I felt something on the side of my left leg. I looked to see the doctor stitching up my leg where he had made the incision. It stung, but I didn't cry. As a reward for not crying, I received a stuffed animal that I named Ralph. Ralph was with me for a long time, both as a comfort and as a reminder that I had taken getting stitched up like a champ. They sent the muscle biopsy to be tested, and that began the long journey to identify exactly what form of muscular dystrophy I had. At the time, they thought I had Becker muscular dystrophy, which enlarges the calf muscles and affects the heart, leading to cardiomyopathy. It wasn't until I was an adult that we discovered I had limb-girdle muscular dystrophy, a type of MD that causes weakness and wasting away of the muscles in the arms and legs. Limb-girdle muscular dystrophy targets the muscles that are closest to the body, mainly the shoulders, upper arms, pelvic area, and thighs. As a little kid, I didn't know what any of that meant or what someday my body was going to be able to do, or more specifically, not be able to do. I had no idea what I was up against. I knew I had a diagnosis of MD, but that didn't really mean much to me at the time. I'm glad I didn't know it then. My ignorance allowed me to just be a kid, at least for a while. Sometimes giving it all isn't enough. For the first 9 years of my life, our family lived on a farm in the middle of nowhere, Iowa. I loved living on the farm, spending time with Dad, tagging along on the tractor and playing outside all day long. I dreamed of being a farmer myself someday, but by the time I was in 6th grade, my dad was no longer a farmer. Now he was a pastor. I was no longer a farm kid. Now I was a city kid trying to live out my second love, sports. I grew up in the era of Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and so many of the greats from time past. Since we'd left the farm, I had new dreams of playing in the NBA, or even better, my stronger dream of being in the NFL. For sure, at least playing college football at a Division I school. I'm literally laughing out loud as an adult writing this. Who was I kidding with my dreams of being a pro athlete? I loved watching Michael Jordan, arguably the best or at least one of the best to ever play the game of basketball. Legend had it that he was cut from his high school team his sophomore year. But Michael never gave up and came back better than ever the next year. And most of us know what happened after that. He played at North Carolina, was the 3rd overall pick in the NBA, and went on to win 6 NBA championships, 6 NBA Finals MVPs, 10 scoring titles, and 5 MVPs. He also played on the Olympic Dream Team and received many other accolades and awards. It came out later that Michael hadn't actually been cut from the team but made JV, which was normal for a sophomore. Still, he worked really hard to get where he was. Michael Jordan showed kids like me that if you work hard and don't quit, you can become great, and I believed it. At age 12, I was obsessed by the dream of running out of the locker room tunnel on a Friday night past the cheerleaders lined up yelling, "Rob, Rob, Rob," as I ran by. In my dream, I'd pass them with a flirty look on my face and a croon, "How you doing?"